Hey everyone, and welcome to PGN Live. Wow, I didn't know if the entire subject matter of today's stream would fit because we only have 100 characters and there are kind of a lot of topics to go over today. So, welcome. Let's see, did everything fit? I think so. Let me double check. We've got some huge Nintendo Switch 2 sales because it is Famitsu Day in Japan, where we go over the last week's worth of data. Now, today's data that is going to be brought up on screen in a little bit comes to us from Famitsu, courtesy of Install Base Forum and their member Chris1964, who does a good job making things look nice and organized on that forum. And it is data that goes through the end of December. So this does not include any of the January sales. So technically we're a little bit behind, but that's okay. That's because, last week Japan had holiday, as the rest of the world did, going into the new year. So we don't have that January 1st through, January 7th data. Or like December 28th to January 5th, whatever. We don't have that week's information. But we see how December ended in Japan, and it was great, especially for Nintendo Switch 2. Then we've got new Mario Tennis Fever footage. It's like a 5.5 minute trailer. I have that on the screen right now. It only auto-played, but I have not yet seen it myself. So this will be a live reaction to it if you all want to watch it together. Then we've got brand new Joy-Con that Nintendo just showed off to kind of go along with the launch of Mario Tennis Fever. I think the Joy-Con looked cool. And then also, it was my half birthday yesterday. I'll explain what's the significance in that, for me at least. And yeah, hopefully we'll have a good stream. We are streaming a little bit earlier than usual. But let me get the pop-out chat ready to roll. See who's here. We'll discuss some of these things, all of these things, maybe, hopefully. And yeah, it looks like we've got 12 people watching. Already 4 likes. Big thank you. We're open, ready to roll. And who's here? Egomaniac87 saying, what up, what's up, Egomaniac87. Good to see you here. Aaron Cedillo saying Pokemon 30th anniversary. That's right. Big year. Big year for Pokemon. What will we see? Finally, old school red, blue, yellow on NSO, silver, gold, crystal on NSO, a compilation package of sorts, digital download, cartridge. Could you imagine? It's a game key card, and that's how you buy individual releases of like Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Yellow. They're all individual game key cards. And that's how you get them. Oh my gosh. That's a good idea. Joking. But yeah, February 27th, it's going to be a good day. J Biggs, Mr. NY for life. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, J Biggs. Nintex 2 Dope. Ha! Caught you on time. That's right. You got me, Nintex 2 Dope. I'm glad you're here. I know YouTube notifications can be a funny thing sometimes. And also, to be fair, we are about an hour earlier than normal. So, yeah. I didn't know how many people would show up right now. But we've got 23 and counting, and we've got over 4 likes already. So it's looking good. Looking good start, despite it being an earlier day. Yvonne Francois is here. Kongdonk69 is here. Tabbycat Games, good morning. Tsukino Ame with a hi, everyone. Hello, everybody. Party can start. Now I'm here. Hi, Paul. Hi, Pokemon Fan 34. Okay, I'm caught up. I see some of y'all talking amongst each other. Good. Okay. Well, Usually when it comes to the Famitsu charts, I wait a little bit. By the way, 27 people watching now and 11 likes. So, big thank you. As I was saying, uh, usually the Famitsu sales data, I wait a little bit for some more people to show up. But we've already got 29 folks in here, so we could definitely do that now. Or we could go over something a little bit simpler, easier to digest, like looking over the new Joy-Con. Maybe we'll get that up on screen just to have a little conversation point. There we go. And then go over the Mario Kart, or not Mario Kart, the Mario Tennis Fever trailer, overview kind of trailer. It's like 5 minutes and 42 seconds long or so. I think the game's going to be cool. It's dropping in like 5 weeks or so, February 12th maybe. We'll double check all of this information in just a little bit. Crazy Scott is here. What's up? Jordan Andrews. Good afternoon, Paul. Good afternoon, Jordan. Charlie Smith. Hello, Paul and everyone. Hi, Charlie. Welcome, welcome. Yeah. You know what? I have a fun/funny idea for a poll. Yeah, let's see. Okay, this is a wild poll. If the only way you could get the OG Pokemon was each title released as a game key card, would you? Yes, and I'd be happy. Yes, begrudgingly so. Or no! Woo! Ooh, this is exciting. This is an exciting poll. Oh man. Like, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to play 30-year-old games on a modern platform? Oh my gosh. Okay, that's some cruel and unusual punishment there. Crazy Scott, I need a Zelda 40th anniversary controller. Yeah. You know what they haven't done in a while with Zelda? Have they? No, they haven't. No, it has been a while. Is gold it up, right? You had original Zelda for NES in gold, Zelda 2 in gold, Ocarina of Time, limited edition. First releases were in gold, as was Majora's Mask, with the lenticular cover as well. The Wind Waker was a gold printed disc. Let's see. Twilight Princess was going to have a special edition, like hardcover case that it came with. It did not end up doing so. Skyward Sword had a gold printed disc and a gold Wii remote. Breath of the Wild, Echoes of Wisdom, Link's Awakening HD, Tears of the Kingdom, 35th anniversary. None of those things had a gold thing to celebrate with. We had the 35th anniversary Joy-Con. We did have the Game & Watch and Skyward Sword HD, but I think it's time for, how about an all gold Nintendo Switch Pro Controller 2? So, semi-transparent, clear kind of gold for that top plastic, the rest of it a solid gold, or make this thing like a gold-black combination with in the front, middle, the Zelda family crest with the Triforce and the wings, or something like in a deep, bold red on it saying The Legend of Zelda 40th anniversary. Yeah. Last generation, I was like, come on, Nintendo. Give me some solid Pro Controller colors, like a solid blue, a solid red, a solid yellow, a solid green. We never got that. I would still like that this gen, though this gen it would be more expensive in order to, fulfill that desire of having all four of the primaries. Uh, but yeah, that gold one, that'd be cool for Zelda. Hoping they have it on Amazon. You've got gift card. That's cool, Pokemon fan. Yeah, that'd be good. If they have this thing, I'd imagine it would be available everywhere. I'm just saying, waiting to see what they have before I go and spend. I mean, don't give Game Freak ideas. I would have never got the OG Pokemon or any Pokemon game on any format, says J Biggs. Steak 1024 in the house. What's up? Hey, Paul in chat. Hey, Steak. I need the Triforce back in the story and gold cartridge. Yeah, it's been a little bit since we've had the Triforce be this key component. That would be cool. That would be a neat power to find, a power to collect, an upgrade in scavenging the world for the Triforce of Power. Because maybe you're not there yet. Maybe you are a knight. And maybe it's not the end game, but it is a considerable amount of the way in before you get the Triforce. And then that unlocks like a whole new wealth of powers, Blue, red, and yellow were the only Pokemon games you ever played. I would buy that in a heartbeat. Take my money, Nintendo. Regarding the gold controller, yeah. I still wish they were all purple and blue. For these, they look really nice. It's really slick. I gotta say, the colors pop quite a bit. They're trying to differentiate, obviously, the controllers now from what Nintendo Switch did, which was, fully colorized. However, aside from kind of playing in, horizontal fashion, presumably with the toppers to extend, which I don't think is most people's primary way of playing Nintendo Switch 2. I think more people than not are either playing with the two Joy-Cons, running parallel vertically in the Joy-Con 2 grip, or with the Pro Controller, or playing with the Joy-Cons affixed to either side of the Nintendo Switch 2 in portable mode, right? So, how often will you see the blue and the light green pop? Aside from on the Joy-Cons, remains to be seen. But for what it's worth, they are nice. It is nice. And you do see, to be fair, that little sliver in between, but it's minimalistic. I do like the color scheme, though. They do remind me more of Splatoon than, something that would run parallel with a launch of Mario Tennis Fever. But still, it's still cool. It's something new. It's something optional. But it's good to have these little options pop up, Even though I hate Joy-Cons, I would buy a pair if they had red, green, blue lights, LED rings around the thumbsticks. Yeah. I wish an underutilized feature of the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller was that light on the home screen button. That thing lit up a nice blue, and we didn't get that in many games. The only thing I could think of off the top of my head that utilized it was Ring Fit Adventure. I remember Nintendo had it turned on at E3, I want to say 2019, in the Luigi's Mansion 3 booth, and it was so cool. Like, oh, dang, I love this thing. This is so cool. I never got it on in any games. I would have liked the option to just turn it on. I want to have it on, I'm a big fan of blue. I'm a big fan of lights. Probably the coolest console's light setup of all time was Wii's. That light blue glow, oh boy. What a treat. Gotta be my favorite system's lighting effect. I mean, the Xbox 360 had the red ring of death, and that red ring was pretty cool. I joke. But yeah, no. The GameCube subtle orange. Fine light. The PlayStation 5 has a light these days too. But like, nah, that Wii light, that light blue was the best. Morgenstern 7 says, hey, there's a big sale going on? Interesting. I will check this for sure. Okay, so what I meant, so sale could be one of two things. Sale in terms of a sale going on where it's reduced prices of products. But in this case, I mean sales, where the sales data coming out of Japan we have, and they're really good. And we're going to go over that in just a bit. Paladin, good morning. I do wish they would do all colored ones. Yeah. I play with the Pro Controller almost 100% of the time when I don't use my Ultimate 8-Bit Duo or 8-Bit Duo controller at night. Yeah. Charlie Smith. Okay, talking amongst each other. KH.4114 says, hey, Paul, I just turned in. Did you already talk about the sales? No. We're actually going to go over that like maybe in a minute. We've got 33 people watching. Seems like a good time to go over it. Quiet Lion Gaming says, hi, Paul and everyone. Hi, Quiet Lion Gaming. Welcome. J Biggs, I used to keep the LED on my Wii as long as I could. Sometimes I would leave it like that for months. Yeah. I don't know if you could have the Wii light on these days without receiving a message from someone to trigger it. Not positive. I would love to see solid red Joy-Con 2 and Pro Controller. Yeah, that'd be cool too. By the way, I'll throw this in quickly because this is significant.
January 7th, 485 days or 16 months until the release of the Legend of Zelda movie. Huh?
I know that's yesterday, but only 16 months to go. That's still a long time, but only 16 months to go until the Legend of Zelda movie comes out. Who's not going to go to theaters to see that? Come on now. I hope everybody here, all 35 of you watching, is going to go to theaters for that one. That's a monumental event for Nintendo. The first live-action movie that they're doing in over 3 decades. There's the link if you would like to make that video pop even more. It's at 10,000 right now. So if you want to like it, comment on it, definitely appreciate it. You used to be able to send messages to make it light up. That's what you used to do? Yeah. Do we have sales outside of Japan? Not exact numbers, but we do have some overall figures, Sweet Tea. That's me. Your Mario and Zelda impressions are always so good. Thanks, Jordan Andrews. Can we see the Bayonetta short? Yeah, let's see the Bayonetta short. We'll do that one more time, because we did it the other day, I think. Small Little Man. One thing I want to see is see-through consoles again, like N64 and Game Boys. Yeah, those were cool. All right, we'll do the Bayonetta short. For the 38 people watching now, here's a little bit of entertainment for you, and then we're going to hop into those sales.
Today in gaming history, January 5th, 2010, Bayonetta launched. This doesn't feel right. Hang on one moment. Let me see if the gates of hell is open. Hello? Rodon? Oh, Rodon, heaven and hell can tear each other to pieces for all I care. I'm more concerned with... Oh, what is it? A phone call for me. Do hand it over. Hello, Golf for Bayonetta. Can I ask you for a little favor? Yes, of course, I can deliver that message. Thank you. Today in gaming history, January 5th, 2010, Bayonetta launched for the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 in North America. Today...
Tabby Cat Games with that request. Tabby Cat Games also with the awesome $2 super chat saying, I have missed being here. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your awesome generosity. I appreciate it. Getting us on the board with $2 to start the stream off. Paul as next Bayonetta confirmed. That's right. You know, I'm taking over the voice acting. I'm taking over the motion capturing. You know it. I might even do live action Bayonetta if there's a Bayonetta film. I love these shorts. I really do. That's the best short. Thanks a lot. Do you think we are getting a new 3D Mario game this year? Banana Cat 42? I think so. I think Nintendo capitalizes on last year's late release of Super Mario Galaxy 1 and Super Mario Galaxy 2, followed by this 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers, going into Mario Tennis Fever, going into the Super Mario Galaxy movie, going into Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, which will head into a summer Nintendo Direct in which they will announce a 3D Mario, have their Blu-ray, Netflix, etc. sales and streaming of the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and then finish off with a late fall release of Super Mario Galaxy 3 or Super Mario Universe or Super Mario Odyssey 2 or something new. I just think so, but we'll see. Paul, are you going to do the snap for Switch's anniversary? I have to. It's going to be Today in Gaming History, March 3rd, 2017. Nintendo Switch launched worldwide. You know, something like that. It's the 9th anniversary, which is wild. Xbox Developer Direct, that's right. I think you will be the next body double for Bayonetta. Yes. Japanese Drift Master is coming. Cool. Okay. I won't see Zelda in theaters. Didn't see Mario in theaters either. Stay at home. That's, man, nothing wrong with that, you know. Okay. Let's go into the sales data, since that is one of our big things today. I just wanted to, let's see, update the total so I know how many people to say thank you to. Thank you to the 35 people watching here, and thank you for the 28 likes. Let's go. These are the sales from Japan for the week of December 22nd through December 28th. I'm on installbaseforum.com right now. This list in particular is provided by Famitsu, but put together in this manner by Chris1964 over there at the forum. Let's do it. Top 10 sales of the week in terms of software, video game sales, physical only. Mario Kart World for Nintendo Switch 2 in first place with 94,645 copies sold. Pokemon Legends ZA on Nintendo Switch with 59,469 copies. Kirby Air Riders for Nintendo Switch 2 moved 47,793 copies. Pokemon Legends ZA Nintendo Switch 2 edition in fourth place, which did 46,868 copies. An important thing to note there, now the physical copy alone of Pokemon Legends ZA on Nintendo Switch 2 has sold 1 million units in Japan, which is pretty cool. The Nintendo Switch version is already at 1.5 million, and both combined are obviously well over 1 million, have been for some time when you consider digital sales, but now physical alone, the NS2 version is also past 1 million, so very cool. Momotaro Dentetsu 2 for Nintendo Switch is in fifth place, and it moved 32,649 copies. Momotaro Dentetsu 2 on Nintendo Switch 2 did 30,154 copies. Combined, that's a very solid 62,000, 800 copies, which would have put it in second place, really, if you combine them. But then again, you'd also have to adjust Pokemon and say, okay, well, Pokemon combined is well over 100,000, so that becomes first place and stuff, But anyways, independently, the games are doing well. Both SKUs are very solid, and they will both probably be on the top 30 for a long time to come. Top 10, still for a while longer. In 7th, we've got Donkey Kong Bonanza on Nintendo Switch 2, moving another 15,258 copies. In 8th is Minecraft on Nintendo Switch. It did 14,985 copies. In 9th, Super Mario Party Jamboree on Nintendo Switch 2, which moved 14,808 copies. And in 10th, Animal Crossing New Horizons sold another 13,839 pieces of software. This is, like I said, that December 22nd through 28th time period. This is Christmas time, also celebrated in Japan. This is a good month and a half before we get that Animal Crossing New Horizons official bump for Nintendo Switch 2 in graphics, performance, all that kind of stuff. And for, Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 versions to co-benefit from the new Zelda content, Lego content, and Splatoon content. So that's all good to see. Speaking of good to see, Switch 2 Kirby Air Riders LOLOLs with that membership for 2-month badge. Big thank you for showing that PGN white belt off. And right after that, Ash Gaming 17 with the 1 PGN gifted membership. Big thank you. Bringing our stream up. Ash with the $1. Giant thank you for that. Oh, I should update the total. Let me see. What is the total now? EMNF3UB was the recipient of that. Let's see. That membership total. Ooh, it's a... Well, here it says 400, but with Ash's, I would know that's 401. And the subscriber total actually... Wow, this one is a big jump. 8113. I am happy. I just got to say, by the way, even though we are at a clean 400 now, well, 401 with Ash's new contribution, we did hit 500. We just did hit 500 a few days ago. Was it like January 2nd in that stream? So we officially hit 5. It's at 401 now, but we did hit 5. At a time where we were just a little over 8,000 total subscribers, we did hit 500 members, which is 1 in every 16 people on this channel was also a member. That is fantastic. Maybe we'll hit 500 again before the end of the month. Maybe sometime this year. We'll see. We'll go over the hardware sales in a bit, but let me do a little catch up on some chat reading off. GameStop starts 2026 closing stores. Carlton-san, hey Paul and chat. Hey Carlton-san. Fable coming to Nintendo Switch 2. Very cool. Tall Show dropping those emojis. I like them. Loud Boys saying Final Fantasy VI Remake coming, but it's still being worked on. Very cool. FF6 is a great one. Ash with the hi, let's do this. Heck yeah. Switch to Kirby Air Riders LOLLs. Thanks. Or got thanks. Support. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, and you're welcome too. Talking amongst each other. And HMon661 with a hi all. Hi, HH. Hi, HMon661. Welcome. Okay. And then Charlie Smith. Hello, HMon. Okay. Talking amongst each other. Okay. Sometimes I read more than I need to, but that's okay. Dang, and we're up to 47 watching right now. I guess now is a good time to go over those hardware sales because a lot of people are going to be here for the read-off, which might surprise some people. Oh, by the way, let's check out the poll, possibly end it. If the only way you could get the OG Pokemon was each title released as a Game Key card, would you? 45% said no, but 55% of you still would. 32% begrudgingly would, and 24% would be like, yeah, and I'd be happy for it. Loud Boy is asking, what's my thought on Mario Tennis Fever? I think it looks good. I did not watch this new 5-minute trailer breakdown yet, though. That's one of the things that we could do in today's stream. We'll see. Steak 1024 saying, Paul, going to watch the New Game Plus presentation today? I don't know if I had that on my radar, so I might have to do that. Did you see that the hit AAA game My Mario is coming to the US? From the Nintendo post on this? Yeah. Bring Mario on over. Let him be enjoyed by all ages. You know, even though for many people, you could care less if there are Mario branded diapers, right? Like, maybe you don't have kids. Maybe you had kids or have kids, but they're far grown past that era. Not to say that this is a diaper kind of brand, no, but it's really, little pajamas. It's a little app that you could squish around Mario's face on a tablet. Stuffies designed for smaller kids, building blocks, made out of wood and kind of more earthy than plastic, Montessori-esque. This is important stuff. It's good to have this association from a very early age. I mean, Mario is out there. You see folks in the preschool, pre-K, kindergarten, TK, first grade, second grade, third grade, all with Mario backpacks and shirts and clothing, sometimes shoes, Halloween costumes, etc. And that's good, but if you could, why not rewind a little bit earlier and get the baby demographic? Because even if it doesn't apply to you, it's important to build up that brand awareness and that familiarity from an even earlier age, Oh, Nintendo Switch 2 did great this Christmas. Yeah, Pain Uchiha. Nintendo Switch 2 did great overall. Not as strong as it could have or perhaps should have in the United States, but we're about to go over that in just a moment. They're finally making Diddy Kong a playable character in Fever. I wasn't at the start of the stream, so I didn't know if you saw it, Small Little Man. No, thank you for mentioning it. Bradley Taylor, last comment. It's important. I'm not sure what that one was regarding. I started playing Mario when I was 2 on my dad's SNES. Good times, awesome. Egomaniac 87. I've worked in Montessori before. LOL, it's awesome. Cool. So you know what I'm talking about. New Game Plus Showcase. I'll check it out. Doing good. And I also pre-ordered the new purple and turquoise Joy-Con 2 Pro controllers. That's cool, Ash. I'm glad that you're getting them. Okay, let's go over the Nintendo Switch 2 hardware sales and see just how much Nintendo has been crushing it. This is just for 1 week. Just in Japan, December 21st through 28th. Nintendo Switch 2 sold another 200,257 units. Y'all realize that's about 815,000 units of Nintendo Switch 2 just in Japan alone, just for the month of December. It was something like 200,000 for the first week, 190,000 for the second week, 221,000 for the third week, and 200,000 for the fourth week. This doesn't include the 29th, 30th, or 31st, so another 3 days. So not only did it sell 815,000, but I mean, potentially another smaller during the week than the weekend, but you could say if it's known that it's 815 for sure, you could say like 850, something like 850,000, units in Japan alone. So even if it sold less than expected or less than amazing numbers in North American market, it's quite a bit in Japan alone. right? Going off of this data, I think my original prediction of 16 to 17.5 million is good for ending the year. I don't think it's 17.5. I don't think so. Could I be wrong and it made up for it in other territories and it is like 17.72 or 18? Yeah, it could be. Could I be wrong on the flip side and like, oh no, it truly didn't sell like anything, just a few thousand in other places? Possible, but I'm not that wrong. I think that 16 to 17.5 is probably going to be true. I think like something like 16.2 might be the case. 16.75 I like, but I don't know. We're going to find out in about 1 month. Did you see my last comment? It's important regarding the Nintendo Direct. Retype it if you don't mind, Bradley Taylor. I did put up a couple of days ago the Nintendo Direct guideline of past Februarys and how there's a 64% of all Februarys had a Nintendo Direct, 75% of all of the last 14 years that there could have been a Nintendo Direct had something in the first quarter of the year, and something like 75% of all Februarys in the Nintendo Direct era had one as well, that being a Nintendo Direct in February. So like chances are good that next month we're getting something. Mark Liu, Switch 2 has officially flopped? No, definitely not. It is the fastest selling system of all time. It sold 15 million by the time it turned 6 months old, which is tremendous. And now that, the year is over, we don't know the numbers yet, but it's got to be at like 16 to 17.5. That's the range. That's the range. I could be wrong, and it could be 15.9. I don't know. I could be wrong. It could be 18, like I said, but I think it's in my range. If Nintendo Direct drop Monster Hunter Wild would be cool to see. Yeah. It's a long message, and it's below the message Small Little Man said about Mario and the USA. Let's see. Small Little Man's comment, Mario and the USA. I don't know if you could copy and paste it or put the at Paul Gale Network so it sticks out. By the way, I noticed that we got 50 people watching in here. So thank you all for being here yet again. Next week, we get the Animal Crossing update. Paul, when is the next quarterly briefing for Nintendo? I want to say it's February 5th. Steak 1024. So we are about a month away, a little bit less than a month away. I'll definitely have that update that day. It will probably come, the night before at around 10:45 p.m. Pacific time. I could potentially go live at that time. Maybe. Or if I don't go live, at least make a video covering it and then go live the next morning to go over that stuff. I can't wait to see what this year brings. Yes. Mark Liu, you think it would reach Nintendo adjust projection of 19 million by March, even factoring down holiday sales? I did a really good breakdown. I mean, I think it was a good breakdown with a little bit of bias, right? A few weeks ago on X, where I'm like, if it does 16 million, which is my low end, by December 31st, that means they have to sell 3 million between January 1st and March 31st. That puts a little pressure on them to do so. But 3 million's not impossible. Not at all. If they did that my high end of 17.5, that really takes a lot of pressure off. You're asking them to do 1.5 million in 3 months. That's like 660,000 a month, easy. If they end up doing somewhere in between, like 16.75, which was my safe guess, then you're looking at 2,250,000, and that's only like 715,000 a month. Like that's not bad either. If it's 16.2, that's still like 2.8. That's not bad. You're looking at 930,000 a month. I think Nintendo will hit it. It works in their favor, it being significantly more than 16, but it doesn't have to be 17, 18 in order to hit this 19 by March 31st. We've got Mario Tennis Fever. We've got new Joy-Con. We've got people with, Christmas money that may now want to use some to bolster a January sales. Yeah. It's still looking solid. It's still looking in the right trajectory. Animal Crossing Switch 2 version is $5. The message is on your figure shelf, hiding behind your giant Samus. Behind the giant Samus is some Tears of the Kingdom. Mario Tennis looks so good. Love all the modes and different courses, and the Fever powers look tons of fun. Yeah, Gamer Center X. I want to watch this video, possibly with all of you. Revan the Bipolar. I think the reason why PS5 had a lot of sales was because of GTA 6, since PS5 is the only way to play the game, in my opinion. A lot of people are no doubt anticipating GTA 6, and PlayStation 5 will probably be the lead platform in terms of sales for the game and places where people want to play the game. Unless, if, earlier than not, imagine a February Nintendo Direct where they close it with Grand Theft Auto 6. And they announce that, in 10 months or in 9 months, the game is coming day and date, and they show some footage of the NS2 version of GTA 6. And, of course, you'll have some people that say, oh, look at the trailer back and forth. It doesn't look as good on NS2. But by and large, if it looks quite comparable, it's going to hit the majority of the population that is interested in the game. And that could very well be a very good, highly successful selling game on the system. Now, I anticipate that PlayStation 5 sales are going to be really good come November 2026, but if the game is also coming on NS2, that's just going to further help Nintendo. We'll see. I'll be picking up the game regardless. GTA 5 is something that my wife and I played early marriage, and we just destroyed that game. We played through it so much, loved it. I would like to see either a bundle, like a triple pack, or not even a triple pack, just have them release GTA 4, 5, and Red Dead Redemption 2 on Nintendo Switch 2. I think that would be an awesome kickoff to having the first half of the year, Mark Lou, thanks for the info, Paul. You're welcome. GTA 6 coming out 2027, November. Obviously, that doesn't mean the Switch 2 is flopping. Most people are exaggerating that part. Absolutely, Revan. First post, I was just concerning trolling. There is a rumor that Nintendo Direct is happening second half of January. Huh. It's on X, and he posted the screenshot. Interesting, Bradley Taylor. It would be cool. I wouldn't underestimate the power, or underestimate Switch 2. Yeah, definitely. Roger Enyard is here. Hello, Polygon Network, and all you amazing peeps out there. Small headache this morning, so just being lazy and laying in bed listening. Well, I'm sorry you have a headache. That stinks. Headache's no fun. Hopefully, even if you're not looking at the screen or typing a whole bunch in chat, the audio is giving you some fun. By the way, I'm going to end the poll. 43% would not buy OG Pokemon if they were individually released on GameKey cards, but 57% still would. All right, boom, poll ended. Good to know. I'm going to give Nintendo and Game Freak some ideas. Here, Pokemon Company. Let's go. Pokemon Fan 34 saying over 40 likes. Heck yeah, over 40 likes. GTA 6, you would buy that day one? Yes. That would move systems? Yes. I have Red Dead Redemption 2 on my PS4, and if it was on Switch 2, I will rebuy it. Awesome. The president gives out actually those $200 for everyone. Gonna buy during the tax season. Yeah. Get some boost in March. Yeah. If Nintendo drop, then before or after Xbox Developer Direct. Okay. Let's go over real quick the hardware sales because I've had this little chart right here and y'all might be able to see it, maybe not. Hardware sales for that week. I already said Nintendo Switch 2. 200,257 units alone for that week. Nintendo Switch with a very impressive 32,775. You folks got to realize this system is on the verge of being 9 years old. And here in Japan, for the year, up to it being almost 9, did 1.5 million units. That's a lot. Not only that 1.5 million, okay, that's good. That's for the whole year. And you could say, well, some of that is before NS2 came out. What about the here and now, the later months? Well, in December alone, it did, oh gosh, what? It did something like 120,000 for the month of December in Japan. Maybe more. Very strong, very impressive, And that's how, as long as Nintendo doesn't cease manufacturing, production of Nintendo Switch on these conveyor belts and such, it's going to still sell tens of thousands per week, 100,000 something per month, couple 100,000 per month worldwide, few hundred to several 100,000 per quarter worldwide, couple million per year worldwide. And when you're selling a couple to a few million a year, even though it's no longer these amazing 18 million, 20 million a year, you're selling 2 to 3, Nintendo Switch is over 155 million. It's probably 155.2 or something like that. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. But you're looking at, like 4.7 million away from 160. That's called a couple of years at most. That's why I said summer 2027 is when it will hit 160, July, August, early September. I don't know when, but that's when. My old prediction, if you go way back to see how accurate was I, 9 years ago, something like that, maybe 8 years ago, maybe Nintendo Switch was out early, a couple months old to be fair. I had this claim of, I was doing the math, I was doing the algorithm, I was doing this pre-COVID, and I hypothesized that by June 30th, 2026, it would hit 160. I don't think that old prediction is going to be accurate. I don't think it's going to hit 160 by this June 30th. So I revised about a year ago, or a year and a half ago, my forecast to delaying it by a year plus a couple of months to summer 2027. Because also I didn't know when Nintendo Switch 2 was going to come out, when its successor was going to come out. So, yeah, I think that was pretty accurate going how far back and how little we knew, but how much I was able to gather from this data. And then now to revise it, I think that's kind of fair. But yeah, as long as Nintendo doesn't stop manufacturing it, it will top 160. And it will be the new best-selling console of all time, undisputedly so, by December 31st, 2027. Because at that point, it will be at like 160.6 or something, Can it still beat PS2? Yes. Paul was reminded this morning in Rogers Base's predictions video, Pokemon Championships doesn't have a full release date yet, and supposed to be their main battler for Worlds this year. So Pokemon is holding on to some information, eh? John Castle. Yes, as long as PS2 doesn't get any random additional sales again for the third time, lol. Maybe. Revan the Bipolar. I really want to think Nintendo is learning from their mistakes. I mean, they are producing a smaller, more cheaper game card, and they fixed Mario Kart World, and Mario Tennis looks better than Aces. Yeah, things are looking good. Bobby LaFever, true or false? In Five Nights at Wario 3, player Mario come out of the TV. Five Nights at Wario. I don't know about Five Nights at Wario. Okay, let's continue though. You could elaborate if you'd like to. Third place, hardware. We haven't even done this. Nintendo Switch 2 first, Nintendo Switch second. In third, PlayStation 5 with 19,232 units. In fourth, Xbox Series with 297. And in fifth, PS4, trucking along, some being found, in the back of stores and still making it onto shelves and people still buying them. Sony's not manufacturing new ones, but they're still selling. 1,087 sold for the year. But it's a far drop from the previous year's 13,728. And, PS4 did a respectable 9.5 million in Japan. Xbox Series really could have done more, but only did 688,000. And that number will go up a little bit, but it's very small. Very small. It'll hit 700K, but I don't know if it'll necessarily hit 800. PS5 is doing okay. 7.2 million, though. PS5 lost to Nintendo Switch last year. Nintendo Switch last year outsold it over 2-1. 3.1 million to 1.4 million. This year, Nintendo Switch outsold it almost 2-1. 1.5 million to 879,000. Nintendo Switch 2 this year at 3,784,067. It did over half of PS5's 5 years worth of lifetime sales in less than 7 months. That's impressive. Meanwhile, Nintendo Switch is the best-selling console of all time in Japan with 36.4 million. Tremendous. So Bradley Taylor, if you're trying to put a link in the chat, links, if I'm not mistaken, are only able to be put up if you are a PGN brown belt. So that might be why the link's not working if you're trying to copy and paste a link. PS5 is dead in Japan. It'll get a little boost when Resident Evil Requiem comes out, but not much because Resident Evil Requiem is coming to Nintendo Switch too. It'll get a little boost with GTA 6, but I don't think GTA 6 is going to do earth-shattering numbers in Japan, but it'll do well enough. But yeah, PS5 is not too hot in Japan. We could watch a little bit of the Mario Tennis Fever trailer if y'all like, though. We don't have to watch the whole thing, but we can check out some of it together.
Mario Tennis game swings onto the Nintendo Switch 2 system. With the tennis you know and love, chaotic rallies with unexpected new twists, and bosses that stand in your way. It's the most jam-packed Mario Tennis game yet. Mario Tennis Fever. First, basic shots. Fire topspins that bounce. Slices that bend and curve. And lobs that sail over opponents. Pick the shot you want to use for each rally. And making their grand slamming debut are Fever Rackets. Keep a rally going to build up your fever gauge. Then unleash a powerful fever shot with a special effect. Freeze the court with the ice racket. Or make enemies appear with the pokey racket. Trip up your opponents to get the advantage. Make opponents see double with the shadow racket. Or get a speed boost with the Golden Dash Racket. Power yourself up with a total of 30 fever rackets. If a fever shot is heading your way, don't panic. Send it back before it hits the ground, and you'll return the shot and its effect right back at your opponent. So keep your guard and your racket up until it lands. You'll lose HP if you take damage from a fever shot. Lose all of it, and you'll enter KO status and need time to recover, so be careful. In a doubles match, both players can hit a fever shot at the same time. When the moment comes, unleash this explosive shot to devastate opponents. Newcomers include Goomba, Nabbit, and Baby Waluigi. There are 38 characters, the most in series history. Mix and match them with the fever rackets to find your favorite combo. You can also enjoy classic tennis without fever rackets. Use slides and leaps and hit shots at sharp angles for a good old back and forth rally. Swap between newly added defensive actions and increased offensive moves on the court. In addition, Swing Mode lets you gently swing your Joy-Con 2 controller like a racket for a more intuitive experience. You can even use fever shots. Swing into action with these tennis modes.
This is Talking Flower, live from the stadium.
Play with commentary from a Talking Flower in tournament mode. Take on challenges and aim for the top in Trial Towers. Hit the tennis balls through rings to earn points in Ring Shot. Feed piranha plants with tennis balls to make the court bigger in a forest court match. Trigger a variety of flashy effects in a pinball match. Hit the ball on the lit floor and grab fever rackets that appear in a racket factory match. Dive into a world of wonder with all sorts of strange rallies in a Wonder Court match. Expect the unexpected in these unusual takes on traditional tennis. Finally, get a grip on the fundamentals in Adventure Mode. Even if you're new to the series, you'll learn the different shot types, complete challenges, and take on bosses blocking your way. All while improving your skills. Up to 4 players can compete on the court. You can also play with multiple systems via local wireless. And if one person has the game, they can share the tennis fun via GameShare. Plus, you can play online. Enjoy casual bouts with customizable rules in an online room. Or go for glory and global rankings in a ranked match. It's tennis with a twist. So grab your racket and get ready for some explosive action. Mario Tennis Fever. Available February 12th only on Nintendo Switch 2. Pre-orders are available now on Nintendo eShop. The Mario Tennis Fever game is compatible with amiibo figures for the characters shown here. Tap an amiibo to use a tennis ball with a design based on the character.
Yeah. It looks good. Looks good. What do y'all think? I wonder if this trailer will do for people what what the Kirby Air Riders trailer did, you know? One, two, three, 4, 5. Sketches of Harmony is here. There's a good buck in this racket. And hey, Paul and crew, hey there. No, you won't be purchasing the flower, but you do like it. What's the price? The price of the game? Good point. Let's see. Pre-order now. What is the price of the game? $70. Looks like it's $70 for the game. So Nintendo's new price on Nintendo Switch 2 games appears to be $70, with the exception of Mario Kart World. Because you had Donkey Kong Bonanza $70, Pokemon Legends ZA, Metro Prime 4 Beyond, Mario Tennis Fever, all at $70. Unless if it's something on the smaller end like Dragon Drive or Welcome Tour, then you're going to get some fluctuating prices and stuff like that. We'll see about the Nintendo Switch 2 versions of stuff like the new Rhythm Heaven and Tamagotchi Life. Will those be $70? I don't think so. But time will tell. I just need it. Don't tell me that Kirby is dropping summer. Don't do that, Nintendo. Trailers don't do it too much for me. Bradley Taylor, last comment. Bradley Taylor saying check a DM. I don't have any new DM, at least not from you, not here. I can be a talking flower for the right price. I'll probably talk as much anyway. Code Vein to, hey, what's going on today? I mean, so far today, we went over the Famitsu sales in Japan. We talked about software sales, looked over the top 10. Hardware sales, we went over everything. We just did our Mario Tennis Fever trailer watch together. We went over the new Joy-Con. We went over the My Mario products. We watched a couple of the PGN shorts. And yeah, we hit 61 minutes on the stream. We may end it here or talk a couple more minutes until we get to that Nintendo 64-minute mark. That's the goal. So before I end the stream, if anybody has any last comment, question, etc., we could definitely go over it. I know the other day I was asked, I don't know if it was on X or a YouTube comment, but I think somebody asked, what is my goal for... Oh, I know the last thing to talk about. Oh, I'll do that one too. What is my goal for 2026 in terms of like subscribers on the channel? How many do I think? I don't know yet, because we're at 8,113 now. We hit 8,000 just before the new year, so I'd have to look at, I think I'm going to look and base it off of maybe January 15th. I'll see how many people subscribe to the channel this year, and it looks like, I mean, it's been 113 or so in the first week-ish, or maybe a little bit less because I think we hit, 8,002 or 8,000 few at 2025. And so, if for instance it's like, let's just say 170 by January 15th, then maybe an ambitious / somewhat fair take is 340 in the month. If it's 340 in the month, you could say maybe 4,000 for the year. That's a lot, though. That would be matching kind of what we did last year, but 4,000 new on top of just having had over 4 sounds quite a bit. That takes the channel up to 12, So, I'll see January 15th where we're at. How much did we grow in 15 days? what is the pipeline like for the year in terms of ideas and content, anniversaries, gaming history, countdown shorts, movie discussions, events that I go to, etc., streaming schedule, other things that I could do for the channel. More fun to come, keeping it varied. So actually, I guess without me knowing how many did we actually get this year just yet, and how's the next week going to look like? How is January 15th going to look like? The safer thing would maybe be, wait till January 31st, but earlier than not is kind of sometimes nice to have a little bit of a prediction, if you will. I suppose that 4,000 is maybe on the high end of goals, but I don't want to even say a goal necessarily, just light expectation, possibly, if you want to word it that way. If you half it, I'm like, yeah, I'm a little bit more confident with half in it and say, yeah, maybe 10,000. Maybe 10,000 is a goal to end 2026, which is in some ways probably a little undercutting it. That's only 1,900. But only 1,900 is a lot of people, too. It's a lot. But that would be pretty sweet. So I guess for now I'll say, you know what? Soft goal so far, 10,000 by December 31st, 2026. We'll see. Okay, we hit the Nintendo 64 minute mark. Sketches of Harmony just got here. Welcome, by the way. You were dancing for the last 30 minutes. That's cool. Brian G. You'll get the Nintendo Switch 2 for $1. That's cool. That would be a great deal. What of your backlogged games would you actually like to complete this year? When I injured my knuckle, which has long been healed up and stuff like that, but when I did so back in, March of 2024, I was playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I never got back to it. I hopped back in a little bit, but I never got back to it. So that is a game in my backlog that I've got to beat. Since I rarely replay games, don't replay games all that often, but will be getting Final Fantasy VII Remake on Nintendo Switch 2, I might do this playthrough remake again, this time on NS2, and after that, roll right into my continuation of picking up where I left off in FF7 Rebirth. That might be a plan. So that's a little bit of a goal. I don't think Ghost of Yote is in the backlog pile because I just played it a few days ago. So I am back in it after putting it to the side for several weeks. Pokemon Legends ZA, that one might be considered a backlog because I only played it that opening weekend or two. Yeah. So there are a couple. Sketches of Harmony. Gonna be playing Astrobot. Tabby Cat Games. I watched Husband Play You. Definitely need to finish. UK Games. Revenue rose 7.4%. Your plan is to finish Metroid. Very cool, Tabby. Rebirth was fun. The reason I got a PS5 when I did. That's cool. Yeah, Rebirth is good. Yeah, it was great. Just, yeah, I didn't get back to it. Like I said, I did a little bit for a little bit, but not enough. Yeah, the hour did go by fast. The Vibrant Joy-Cons will be nice with Mario Party. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm caught up. Well, dang. At one point in this stream, we had 50 people watching live, which is some good numbers. That's on that higher side, if I'm not mistaken. I think we've hit, within the 60 to 70 range, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of live viewers. But 50 is definitely sweet. We had a lot of cool topics to talk about today. Oh, the final thing before we end. Half birthday. Today is my half birthday. Well, I should say yesterday was my half birthday. January 7th, 42.5 years old. What's the significance in that? Why celebrate a half birthday? Well, for me, I look at it every year I do this on January 7th. And everyone has a half birthday, but just mine happens to be January 7th because my birthday is July 7th. I take a look at what have I achieved in this current age in the first half of the year. How am I doing in physical health? Am I as strong as I want to be? Am I as fast or as flexible as I want to be? Are things that make me physically in line with where I had at the beginning of that year when I turned 42, when I turned 41, etc. Finances, career position. Am I being as productive as possible, making good decisions more often than not? As a husband, as a father, as a son, am I doing all I can or most that I can more often than not to be good, to be fun, to be caring, to be loving? Household maintenance in terms of chores and projects. Did I complete goals that I set out to keep my ambitious nature still realistic? Not to go too soft in my hopes, to not have anything to strive for, but not to go too lofty and then not be able to fulfill that and then potentially be disappointed or set aback by not having fulfilled it, And for that matter, okay, here we're at. What have I done in the last half year? What is there left to do before I turn that next age? Before in this case, I turn 43. Did I do all of the above? Okay, cool. Then what's next? Did I not do some of the first half? Okay, then what do I have to do more of to make it happen? Not to be overly compounded with pressure, but not to just live life willy-nilly doing nothing, You got to have something to strive for, to be better. At least that's how I look at it. So that's kind of my half-birthday self-evaluation. So just something fun that I do. I'm so glad you do the half birthdays. I may start. I still love my birthdays. Heck yeah, that's good. In a week, you'll be 45.5. Awesome, J Big. So you're a fellow July guy. Okay. All right. Well, now we talked about all topics and then some. Had a great stream. Ash, thank you for the $1 dono. Tabby Cat Games, thank you for the $2 dono. Thank you all for being here. We are sitting at a nice 400 strong in terms of members. Hopefully 500 is the next number and not 300, but we'll see. Time will tell, It would be cool if 5 was the new base. I mean, we've gotten to 5, but we've only gotten to 5 once, so it's tough to get 5 as a new base. But each time we go to a new level, the new base almost becomes the level beneath it. So maybe at some point this year, 5 does become the new base. Well, we'll see. But I'm grateful for y'all being here. Thank you so much for your time as always. Y'all take care. Have a good rest of your day. I'll be back on hopefully tomorrow morning, Friday. We might have some more fun news. It could be a random Q&A, but we'll definitely be talking about something. But take care, and y'all have a good rest of your day.